Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to our Thanksgiving, Dr. Johnson's conversation with Dr. Johnson.
Thank you.
Right? I know most of you are like in Turkey land. Most of you are like social distancing with family. But we wanted to give you a very exciting conversation today about TMJ. Dr.
TMJ.
Johnson, what is TMJ?
Well, this is a very complicated subject. I will do my best to simplify it and make it understandable.
Yeah.
This joint, the jaw joint, is called the temporomandibular joint, TMJ.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's extremely common for people to have problems with their TMJ, and most people are not even aware of it.
And it could come from biting hard on bones,
It could.
on meat.
Yeah.
When we were carnivores, we used to eat others and things like that. So
You might have.
Yeah. So we hurt our TMJ.
Yeah.
From biting too much.
Or we grind our teeth, clench our teeth at night. That's very common.
Especially people who work for me are always clenching their teeth. Oh my God.
What's he gonna say now?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yes.
So it can come from an injury, a slip and fall, a fight where you get punched. It can come from having to keep your mouth open too wide, too long for a dental procedure.
You like people who are snoring.
It can be injured.
Karen, take note.
It can be injured during surgery when they put you to sleep. They put the tube down your throat. They kind of torque your jaw, and it puts too much pressure on the TMJ.
Or people who laugh too much.
Oh no, that's a cure.
Oh, really? That's good.
Okay, so think of the TMJ as a ball and socket joint. Technically, that's not 100% correct, but it's close enough for our purposes here. There is a disc that lays over the top of this ball to cushion it where it goes up into the socket. Now, there is a problem called acute TMJ, which is not what we're talking about here. Acute TMJ, fortunately, is very rare, but it's very painful, and people are completely disabled by it. When I worked in the trauma center for 10 years, we used to get people coming in at 2, 3 in the morning when the bars close, and they get into a bar fight, and they've been punched or they've fallen down, and they have acute TMJ.
Okay.
And they can't function. They need acute intervention. So that's not what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
We're talking about chronic TMJ. So in chronic,
And that just arises from normal living.
well,
Yeah.
from these things
Things
we
that
talked about, yeah.
Yes.
So in chronic TMJ, this disc that sits over the top of the ball where it goes into the socket, the disc slips off to a certain degree. Okay. Well, there's an important cranial nerve running right here. So this is up here. Okay. There's an important cranial nerve, and the slipped disc starts to put a little pressure on that nerve. Usually not enough pressure for you to be aware of any pain,
Yeah.
but nevertheless there are some irritation signals that start traveling down that nerve. We're not aware of them, but they're still happening. So this is all starting right here.
Mm-hmm.
Now a little bit further back inside the neck, there's a tight channel where this cranial nerve and several other cranial nerves are packed together like electrical wires. And when nerves are packed that tightly together, nerves don't have perfect insulation,
Yeah.
like the wiring in your house hopefully
Yes.
does. So these irritation signals start to jump the track, okay? And
Electric signals begin to cross. That's why some
Yes.
people start thinking they're women when they should be men, right? Their signals are crossing.
what am I going to do with this guy? Okay, now, what do these other nerves do? Well, they play a role in regulating our heartbeat, our breathing, our digestion, and our balance, okay? Now, I have previously tested Charles, and I have found that he has a chronic TMJ problem that we're going to need to address. So I want to demonstrate a little test for you that confirms my diagnosis. So I want you to put your feet a little closer together. There you go, perfect. Okay, elbows locked in, hands the same distance apart as your elbows. Now I'm going to push here, and I'm going to try to push him over. Okay, and he's going to be strong and try to resist that. Now, he has to be stiff as a board, especially his hands and arms, for this to work. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Look at how much stronger I am than him. Okay, now, 2 tongue blades. Open your mouth, bite, repeat. Okay. I'm pushing as hard as I can, and he is solid as a rock. Now, why on earth would 2 sticks in the mouth make this difference? Well, what happens is the sticks open up the jaw, stabilize it just enough to take a little bit of pressure off of these nerves, and instantly those irritation signals stop traveling down the nerve. So the very first time we did this, the nerve he relies on to be stable and balanced couldn't do its job 100% because it was being distracted by the irritation signals. Okay? And once we got rid of those irritation signals, instantly his nerve is functioning at 100% and he's stable.
No, Doc, I wanted to just intervene. That's why when I was boxing, we wear the mouth guard.
Well, that's part of it.
Yeah, it actually gives you more stability and more strength.
Yeah. And
now I'm beginning to understand why the mouth guard, when you lose it,
Yeah.
they stop the fight for you to put your mouth guard back.
Yeah.
I used to think it was to protect the teeth, but you know,
Well, that's
it also
part of it.
provides that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's interesting.
yeah, and weightlifters can usually lift heavier if they have a mouth guard. Okay.
Important, guys.
And if they lift heavier, then they can, of course, build muscle faster. Okay.
Wow, that's interesting.
Now, I am not a TMJ expert. TMJ experts are specially trained dentists. Unfortunately, there are very, very few dentists that are state-of-the-art about treating TMJ. Most dentists, if you go to them and say, hey, I had this evaluation with a holistic doctor and he thinks I have TMJ and he wants me to have that addressed. Most dentists will say, yeah, sure, of course, we can manage your TMJ for you. Well, guess what, folks? We don't want your TMJ managed. We want it cured. And there are only a handful of dentists in the country that are state-of-the-art and really know how to do this. And so when I find this on a patient and determine it's significant, some people have it and it's not causing any serious problems. But in addition to possible balance issues, chronic TMJ can play a role in Tourette's syndrome. Patients have tics, facial tics.
I don't have any of those. I'm still in the early stages.
I don't know, the Tourette's syndrome, I'm on the fence about that.
Yeah, but no, interestingly you say that because balance is a critical issue as you grow older.
Sure.
And so addressing my balance problem.
Yeah.
Because I'm surprised when you pushed me the first time, I was like, wow, my body is really moving.
Yeah.
But the second time, I'm just like solid.
Yes, you
in
were.
place.
You
yeah.
were.
So
You were.
it's really interesting when you did that test the first time.
Yes.
And you know, most of my patients are telling me that you are the best doctor they've ever encountered. Not because of your looks. No. Because of just really the experience and your knowledge about some of these common things that ail us and we think we're actually healthy.
Yeah.
So it was a real pleasure for me to find that out.
Good.
And now we have to go look for a dentist.
Yes, I can send you to the right one.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
You see,
yeah.
that's why you come to Anti-Fragility Health, Dr. Johnson, our medical director, very knowledgeable in a lot of things, including ACDC and some other things.
So I want to make one more comment
Yeah.
about TMJ. I had a Parkinson's patient a couple of years ago, and as most of you probably know, Parkinson's is an absolutely devastating illness.
Yeah.
With advanced Parkinson's, people look like this, people look like this. If they need to turn around, they turn around like this. They really can't function. So this particular Parkinson's patient came in with his wife, who had to quit her job because he could not be left home alone. He couldn't care for himself. He couldn't dress himself. He couldn't eat by himself. So he came in just about like I demonstrated here with great difficulty. When we got done with treatment, and that included fixing his chronic TMJ that I'm convinced played a major role in his improvement. When we got finished with him, he was back out dancing with his wife, which was one of his major goals in life at that stage, was to be able to go back out dancing with his wife. So it was very
And
gratifying.
dancing requires memory because you have to know that your partner is actually there, right?
Well, and
And you have to know which leg to move.
and if you're walking like this and
There is
turning
no
like
way
this,
you can
you
dance.
cannot dance. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
wonderful. So we're going to conclude another session with the amazing Dr. Johnson. Thank you for today. Conversations will continue. We wish you a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Right, to all your families as you socially distance and enjoy Thanksgiving. Thank you for watching. Love us and then like us. Don't hate us.
Love you.
There's nothing
And-
about us to hate.
And tell your friends to tune in.
Yes, wonderful.
And,
Thank you.
And happy Turkey Day to everybody. We know everybody's going to cheat on their diet. They're going to have some pumpkin pie or apple pie. Cheat joyfully. Do not cheat very often, but when you do, cheat joyfully, and that actually helps prevent some of the problems that can be caused by eating too much sugar.
Only
Yes.
with food, though. Only with food. Let's.
You cheat on anything that makes you happy.
Only with
I like
food.
that.
Yeah, and cheat
was
joyfully.
I was talking about food.
Yes, Karen had to take it somewhere else.
I'm not at all an advocate of the other kind of cheating. That's a very
Well,
bad
it's
thing.
not called cheating, it's called taking. Thank you, Dr. Johnson.
My pleasure.
Again, thank you for joining us, and we appreciate you being there for us. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend, and see you next week.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson.